We are given with cos of y equals to x into cos of a plus y with cos of a not equals to plus minus 1. And then under this condition, we have to prove that dy by dx equals to cos square a plus y upon sine. Now in this question, we can see that we are not given y explicitly in terms of x or x explicitly in terms of y. So it's a question of implicit differentiation, but where both x and y terms are jumbled together and this is given in the form of equation. So in such question, whenever we are asked to prove some result, we modify the given relation in such a way that if we proceed with the differentiation over that form, we get the desired result. Like in this question, I will write x in terms of y as this. Now, I will differentiate both sides with respect to y. So here, we have to apply quotient rule. I will give you this. So now this minus will become plus. So I have written this term here, and then we can see that now this is a format of trigonometry where we can see sine of a into cos of b minus of cos of a into sine of b. So we can write sine of a minus b formula like this. So now we got the value of dx by dy. We take the reciprocal of this term, we get the desired result. Now let's see the second numerical here. If x into sine of a plus y plus sine of a into cos of a plus y is given as 0, then you have to prove that dy by dx will be equal to sine square a plus y upon sine of a. Now in this question, we can use the same concept what we have used in question number 1. I will try to express this in terms of x, so we'll get this. But minus sine of a is a constant. So we can differentiate again both sides with respect to y. So we have to use quotient rule. So I have used quotient rule. Now here, we can see that this is nothing. If I take minus common from these two terms, we'll cancel this minus, we'll get plus here. And the sine square a plus y plus cos square a plus this will give you 1. So now if we take the reciprocal of this, we'll get the desired result. Okay. Now let's see the third question. We are given with y equals to cot inverse of root of 1 plus sine of x plus root of 1 minus sine of x upon root of 1 plus sine of x minus root of 1 minus sine of x under this condition. That is x like x goes from 0 to pi by 2. Now I'll discuss two methods to solve this question. In first method, I will try to express this root of 1 plus sine of x and root of 1 minus sine of x without root. That is, I can write this one as sine square x by 2 plus cos square x by 2. This sine of x I can write as 2 sine x by 2 into cos x by 2. I'll get the formula a square plus b square plus 2ab formula that I can write a plus b the whole square. So now the answer I can write as sine x by 2 plus cos x by 2. Now this we can write only when the result is positive. We are given here to work with x ranging from 0 to pi by 2. So x by 2 will range from 0 to pi by 4. So when sine or cos take angles from 0 to pi by 4, both will give you positive because both are the first quadrant. Therefore, this result is positive. Therefore, we can write the root as what? Sine of x by 2 plus cos x by 2 because this will be positive. The root of 1 minus of sine of x, we can write 1 as sine square x by 2 plus cos square x by 2 and this sine 2 sine x by 2 cos x by 2. In this case, we have two possibilities. Either we can write root of sine x by 2 minus cos x by 2 the whole square or cos x by 2 minus sine x by 2 the whole square. But in this case, if we write the result like this will become negative and this will be positive. Therefore, this is the answer for this expression under this transformation. The reason is if we take the graph of sin x and cos x from 0 to pi by 4, so what will happen? We know that x by 2 goes from 0 to pi by 4, 0 to pi by 4. So in this case, we can see that cos curve is above sine curve. Therefore, cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 will be positive. And therefore, this root is correct because this will give a positive result under this range of x. Now we'll put these values in place of this and this numerator and denominator. We can see that we'll get cot inverse of cot x by 2 as just x by 2. The dy dx will be half. Another way of solving this question is rationalizing the denominator. So we'll multiply with the conjugate of this numerator and denominator. Then we solve this. We find that like 1 plus cos x, we can add 2 times cos square x by 2 again sin x 2 cos x by 2. We'll get cot x by 2. So x by 2 again differentiation will give you 5. Okay, let's see the next question. The question is y equals sine inverse of 2 to the power x plus 1 upon 1 plus 4 to the power x. Similar question is given here. Sine inverse of 2 to the power x plus 1 into 3 to the power of x, 1 plus 36 to the power x. Now to solve such questions, see, whenever we have to solve any inverse trigonometric differentiation, we try to, let's say, if we have a sine inverse, we'll try to express this in terms of sine theta. So now, here, we'll recall this identity, trigonometric identity. Sine 2 theta equals to 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. So this can be written, this is law using the law of exponent. We can write 2 to the power x plus 1 as this. And 4 we can write 2 square. So we can write like this. Right? So now if I put 2 to x equals tan theta, this will convert to this form. This is nothing sin 2 theta. We will get 2 theta. So from a theta is tan inverse. Now we can differentiate this. So when we differentiate this, 2 will come outside. Here we have to apply chain rule. So first of all, with respect to 2 to the power of x, that will give you this. Again, 2 to the power x will give 2x into log of 2. This will give you this. In this question, again, 2 to the power x plus 1, I can split, I can write this. And then 36 x squares, I can write like this. So I can club this 2 and 3, I'll get this. Now in this, we can again put 6 to the power x as tan theta. So again, this will convert to this to theta. Again, theta will be tan inverse. Again, using the chain rule, we can write the result. Now let's see the next question. Here we have y equals to log of log s to the base 7. Now we should always remember that derivative of log of x to the base e gives you 1 by x. If we have any other base, then you have to apply base change formula. The base change formula is, if you have log of a to the base b, we can always introduce a new base, that is c. And we can add the same thing as log of a to the base c upon log of b to the base c. So here also what we can do, we can convert this base 7 to base e as, we can write a base e upon log of 7 to the base e. Then this becomes a constant, this can be taken outside. So we are left with log to the base e log of x. So we'll apply dy by d, this can be taken outside, here we'll apply chain rule. First of all, with respect to log of x, that will give 1 by log of x, again log of x will give 1 by x. Similarly, if we have y equals to sine of x degree, so always remember the result, d by dx of sine of x, where x is in radian gives you cos of x. So it's degree, so we have to convert in radians. So we'll use this transformation. We know that 180 degree gives you pi radians. So 1 degree will be pi upon 180 radians. So we multiply. So x degree will be pi x upon 180 radians. So we can apply chain rule and we get the result. Sine will give you cos. Again, this will give you pi by 1. Let's see the next question. Here we have x as sin qt upon root of cos 2t and y is cos qt upon cos 2t. It's a parametric differentiation. We know how to calculate parametric differentiation. We can always calculate dy by dx as dy by dt upon dx by dt. So we'll differentiate both x and y with respect to the parameter t here. So we'll calculate dx by dt. We'll use quotient tool here. I used quotient tool here. I can cancel this 2. Then I cross multiply this root. I'm taking the LCM of first and second. I'm taking the LCM of root cos 2t in first and second. So I'll cross multiply. So I'll get the result of this. This cos 2t will get multiplied with this cos 2t and we'll get the result like this. Cos 2t will come in the same way, we can write dy by dt as this. Again, we take the LCM of first and second term as root cos 2t. This root will get removed. We'll get only cos 2t and this will come into. So this is what we get. So now after this, we can now calculate dy by dx as what dy by dt upon. So we'll take the ratio of this and this. So what happened? This denominator part will get cancelled. So we are left with this. Now in numerator and denominator, we'll first expand sin 2t sin 2t. So we'll get this. Now in numerator and denominator, we'll take sin t cos t common. I'm taking minus also common. So we're left with this. This will get cancelled. Again, this cos 2t and this cos 2t. We'll express this in terms of cos like this. 2 times of cos square t minus 1. Because we know that 1 plus cos 2t gives you 2 times of cos square t. So cos 2t can be written as 2 cos square t minus 1. And we know that 1 minus cos 2t is 2 times sin square t. So the cos 2t can be written as 1 minus 2 times sin square t. So when we multiply this inside, we are left with this. This is nothing but your cos 3t formula. This is nothing but your sin 3t formula. So we'll get cos 3t by sin 3t. That will give you cot 3t. It's a very, very important numerical for your board examination. Okay, now let's see this question. So number 7. Again, it's a question based on parametric differentiation. We are given the x of root x equals to root of a to the power sin inverse t, y equals to root of a to the power cos inverse t, and then you have to show that dy by dx is minus y upon x. I will discuss 2 methods to solve this problem. First is a parameter elimination method. At the parameter is t, so I can square and multiply. If I do this, I know the sin inverse t plus cos. We know that bases are same, powers will get added using laws of exponents. So this will give pi by 2. So you can see t is getting removed. We are getting constant. I can differentiate both the sides here. This will give you 0. Then we have to use product 2. So we'll get this. Now dy by dx will become as a ratio of this. We'll cancel out the common part. We'll get pi by x. This is what we have to do. Second method, we'll use the conventional method. That is, we'll calculate dx by dt. Then dy by dt. We have to use a chain rule. First of all, with respect to a to the power sin inverse t, that will give you this. Again, a to the power sin inverse t will give, with respect to sin inverse t will give you this. And then a sin inverse t will give you this. But this is nothing but x square. This is nothing but x. I'll cancel one power of x. Then we'll get this. Similarly, y is given us. Again, we'll use chain rule here. So this will, with respect to a to the power cos inverse t, will give you this. Again, cos inverse t, a to the cos inverse t with respect to cos inverse t will give you this into ln a. Again, cos inverse t will give you this. This is nothing but your y square. This is nothing but y. Again, we'll cancel out one factor of y, so we'll get this. So now we'll take the ratio of this by this. So you can see that when you take the ratio, this log a will get cancelled. This root will get cancelled. This 2 will get cancelled. We are left with minus of y, and x will get here minus y. Right? This will be the result. Now next, question number 8. In this question, we are given with y equals to cos inverse of 2x minus of 3 root of 1 minus x square upon root 13. So we have to find dy dx. So I'm splitting this into two terms. I'm dividing by root 13 on with both the terms, so we'll get this. So now if I take 2 by root 13 as cos of 5, what is sine of 5? Root of 1 minus cos square 5. So we'll get 1 minus of 2 square is 4 root 13. So we'll solve, we'll get 3 by root 13, which is present here. So if I take this as cos 5, this will become sine 5. Similarly, if I take this as cos theta, we'll get sine theta. This term will be sine theta. So we can write. So this will get transformed to y equals to cos inverse cos theta into cos 5 and sine theta and sine 5. It's nothing but the formula of cos of a plus b. So cos inverse cos will get cancelled. We'll have theta plus 5. Now theta we can write from here as cos inverse of x, and phi I can write from here. This is a constant. So when I take dy by dx, this will give you minus. This will give you 0. Minus 1 by root of 1. This is the answer to the question. Similar question. We are given with y equals to sine inverse of x root of 1 minus of x minus of root of x root of 1 minus x square, and we have to find the value of dy by dx. This is basically given as domain for this function x. So now again same thing. If we take x equals sine theta, we'll get cos theta equals to what? Root of this will become cos theta. If we take root of 1 minus x cos phi, the sine phi will be root of this is what. So I'll put the values here. I'll get this. It's nothing but sine of theta minus phi. They'll get cancelled. Y equals theta minus phi. What is theta? Sine inverse of x. What is phi? What is phi? We can write phi as what? Sine inverse of root of x. Again, I differentiate. This is straight away will give. Here we will change it. First of all, this is root of x will give with this. Again, root of x will give this. This is the answer to the question. Again, it's a question of implicit differentiation. We are given with some statement here. That is x into root of 1 plus y into root of 1 plus x equals 0. Under this condition, we have to prove this. Now again, we will modify the given expression into a format such that from there, if we differentiate, we'll get this result. So I'm taking this term on the other side. I'm squaring both sides. I'll get this. I'll multiply the terms on both sides. I'll bring the terms on the left hand side now. So I'll group x square y square this term. So here I can take x y common. Here I can apply a square minus b. In these two, I can take x minus y common. So from here I'm left with x plus y. From here I'm left with x y. Since it should be given the question that x is not equal to y, so this will never be 0. So this part will be 0. I'm taking y common from here. I'll bring this x inside. I'll divide. So y equals to minus of x upon 1%. Over this, I can now apply to dy by dx both sides. I'll apply quotient rule here. If I apply quotient rule, I'll get the result. That is dy by dx equals to minus 1 upon 1 plus x square.